Well, you probably got bank accounts, maybe a checking account, a savings account. You might have some investment accounts. You might have a pension account, and different places where your money is. And there are plenty of people out there that would like to get their hands on your money. And they can come up with some pretty creative ways to do it, including a lot of ways that use technology today. And boy, they can make themselves look legitimate. So we're talking today with Mark Matthews at Edward Jones, kind of help us identify some of those red flags that we need to be on the lookout for when it comes to scammers who would like to separate us from our money. So Mark, good afternoon, welcome, glad to have you. And tell me about some of those ways that scammers like to take our money.
Thank you, Scott. You know, we talk to a lot of people, and ever so often we'll talk to someone who thought they might have dodged a scam or have been scammed in different ways. And so we try to make sure we reach out to folks like this and just make people aware of some of the red flags that a scam is in the lurking for you. And one can be when companies supposedly reach out to you, and you weren't expecting it. A company you might be familiar with, but they email you or call, and you wonder, well, why'd they call me? Well, you should wonder about that and investigate thoroughly by contacting the actual company. Of course, we know that scammers, they press you to take quick action. They don't want you thinking through something and thinking, does this make sense? They want to, so you got to act now. And there's, a problem if you don't. That's almost always a red flag. Or telling you that someone you know is in danger, or that your computer's been hacked. And it's possible it may have been hacked, but they're not usually going to tell you that. They're going to tell you that ahead of time, so you'll do the things that let them hack your computer, I think is what happens. Or you win something, but there's a catch. You've got to pay some money, pay a fee in advance. I don't think there's any real legitimate prize that requires an upfront payment to collect it. Being very personal, if you give them your social, your birth date, passwords, that's just an invitation to really be exposed to those kind of problems. And something I think you see this a lot. You see it in the local news or other places where people are asked to pay these fees or pay something with gift cards. And think about that. To send you to a store to buy some gift cards somewhere, who really takes that as money except for scammers? So if you're asked for that, you can be rest assured that you're probably being scammed. And best thing to do is say no and hang up or click off. And
Yep. So Mark, as we wrap this up in these final seconds that we've got, if someone has a question, if they're suspicious of something they've received, or maybe they just kind of need to check something out, how do they get a hold of you to do that?
yeah, so if you know your Edward Jones person, certainly call them. If you're not quite sure, use edwardjones.com, plug in St. Joseph or your zip code, and it will direct you to folks in your area. And I got a call this morning from a lady who got a check unexpectedly. I think it's legit. It was a charitable kind of a thing at her charity, but she called us to help find out, is this real? And we think it is, but I'm glad she called.
Yep, good idea to always check. And they can make the email, they can swipe the logos and make it look really good, and they're very skilled. So, but if you got even the slightest little hint of reason to be suspicious, be suspicious. Mark Matthews, thank you so much for being with us this afternoon, and thank you for being with us too. Stay with us, we'll be right back.